Hello, Apple users and abusers. This is msipodtouchgamer here, and today marks the day of Tech News Episode 3. Now, right now, I'm just going to go over some articles and content that I'm going to be including in this episode. So here we have Sprint and about its carrying of the iPhone 5. We have some news on the iPad 3 with its display and volume. We also have some news on the iPads and their serious reduction of price. The next one we have is that Apple plans to launch an entirely new Mac this year. True or not? Next one we have is the next and final one we have is Apple currently plans to start pre-orders for the next iPhone. So let's just get started. Now in this article, it basically says that Sprint might be carrying plans to carry the iPhone 5 the same time as AT&T, so it's going to be happening simultaneously. So now Sprint is the nation's third largest carrier and has been struggling of the late addition of the iconic device. On a truly unlimited plan, Sprint would certainly be a differentiator. Now, they heard that Sprint was getting iPhone engineers ready in their Kansas City headquarters in May, and they heard directly that they were ramping up for the iPhone in June. So you guys get ready to see the iPhone and Sprint. This article is basically stating that. And another little surprise that they have is that they've seen Virgin Mobile has been refiguring its plans for throttling in early October. So maybe perhaps that might be signaling the iPhone may make its first US prepaid appearance. We have been hearing about the prepaid phone, and maybe just maybe it might be for Virgin Mobile. If that is the case, I'm definitely getting it. So hopefully this can soon enough make its way down to Metro. Nah. So let's go on to the next article. This next article is about the iPad 3 and its display of the sharpest LCD screens are going to be coming from the main companies of LG, Samsung, and Sharp. Now, those are going to be the three main suppliers for LCD panels for the iPad 3. This was heard from the DigiTimes story this morning. Now, LG is going to act as the main supplier, while Sharp stands a chance of overtaking the Korea competitor if it is able to run some stable supplies of some really quality panels. You know that Apple company only accepts the best. Another thing I want to show you guys in this article is that some people have heard that the iPad 3 is going to be coming out in late 2011. Well, unfortunately, due to some problems of the high quality screen affecting the volume, it is going to be coming out early 2012. So you guys can expect that next year. It's not that long of a wait. Good things never come easy, so let's just get ready for the iPad 3. Should be coming soon. So that's amazing, but the one thing I'm most concerned about is the iPod Touch 5. Hopefully we hear some news about that. The next article. Now, Apple drops its refurbished iPods to $299. Now, that is $184 under its lowest price they could find for a new one. So this is also $30. Now, this is talking about the iPad 16 gig Wi-Fi. It drops to $299 with free shipping. So this is on the Apple Store. Now, down here it just says an update. The 16 gig went out of stock, but a site called Cowboom has the 32 gig for $299 on and off. So you guys better go get that quick. Some people are relating this to the touchpad being sold for $99. This is very unlikely that Apple lowered its price just because of that. They also say available for the factory refurbished first gen Apple 32 gig Wi-Fi model. It's for $399. Now that's another low price. Now this time it's by $121. Now keep in mind that both of these units are refurbished, but they do still carry the 1-year Apple warranty the same as the new units. So that's amazing, you guys. That's such a low price, and I just might go out and get one. Here is the next article. This one's about Apple, and it plans to launch an entirely new Mac this year. Now, this Mac is supposed to be really slim, and the details are supposed to be so different that they might be calling it something different. So they might be planning on unveiling an all-new Mac that is absolutely different from current products, according to a rough translation from the sometimes reliable Mako Tara JP. Now, of course, the site's track record is less than perfect. However, they did accurately predict the iPad 2's March release, so we never know. Now, keep in mind, this is all just rumors. So it is a possibility that these are the ultra-thin, air-like MacBooks that we've been hearing in the final stages of testing. Or maybe Apple is just designing an all-new product that will see a platform switch from Intel to ARM processors. So that's amazing. I do look forward to that very new Mac. Hopefully this is a true rumor. Let's go on to the next article. Oh, this is the one people have been waiting for. Now, Apple currently decides to release their iPhone 5 on October 7th. The date isn't set, but they've been weighing between releasing it on October 7th or October 14th. And for the pre-orders, the date isn't exactly set, but they've been weighing to release it on September 29th and Friday, September 30th. Now, people are saying the 30th seems more likely at this point, according to one of the site's sources. As for the release date, since the product's latest stages of pre-mass production currently moving along nicely, Apple is presently shooting towards launch on the 7th. So that's good. Everything might be coming sooner and sooner, which is what we want. Apple's rumored to producing 2 new iPhones for the fall debut, one as an upgrade to the iPhone 4 and one as a cheaper, possibly prepaid addition to the Apple smartphone lineup. Now, that's what we heard in one of our earlier articles. So, Virgin Mobile might be supplying the prepaid iPhone. So, their service isn't exactly the best, but hey, it's manageable. So, iPhone 5, let's go. Come on, I want to start seeing it. So, that's pretty much wraps it up for the iPhone, for all these articles on Apple and Tech News episode 3, of course. But feel free to leave in the comments what was your favorite article and what you seemed the most disappointed about. So that's pretty much it, guys. Thanks for watching. You guys are awesome. And msipodtouchgamer signing out.